everybody. Uh, so, I think there are a lot of people still coming in. Before I start off of what Book Me In is all about, I'll give you a very important perspective about how the behavior of consumers is changing. And it is changing drastically. Uh, to an extent that 4 years back or 5 years back, there was a company called Nokia. Today, does not exist. That's the level at which consumer preferences are changing, that most organizations, if they don't innovate, they are just moving off. 2009, when Mr. Barack Obama was there on his inaugural speech, everyone was attentive. 2013, he's changed himself. He's busy on a mobile phone. Today, if I were to really look, maybe 10%, 20% of you would be on your mobile phone. That's how it is. It is like the moment we get up in the morning, the first thing that we check is our emails. So it's not really what's changed is not mobile phones, but what's really changed is the internet or mobility. Another way to look at it is information on the go. What has happened? Today, every information is available to you online, on your mobile phone. And we did a small survey and realized that, in fact, most youngsters are saying that they can't live without internet. In fact, the best way to harass somebody today is not to hit them or anything. Just take away their mobile phones, and they will be all off. That's the kind of consumers that we are dealing with today. So I have this small video. This guy is one of the most famous stand-up comedians in US, and see what he has to say about this.
Like, in my lifetime, the changes in the world have been incredible. When I was a kid, we had a rotary phone. We had a phone that you had to stand next to, and you had to dial it.
Yes.
Do you realize how primitive? You're making sparks in a phone, and you actually would hate people with zeros in their numbers because it was more like, oh, this guy's got 2 zeros. Screw that guy. Why do I want to? And then if they called and you weren't home, the phone would just ring lonely by itself. And then if you wanted money, you had to go in the bank. When it was open for like 3 hours. You had to stand in line, write yourself a check like an idiot. And then when you ran out of money, you just go, well, I can't do any more things now.
Right.
I can't do any more things.
That's it, yeah.
That was it. And even if you had a credit card, the guy would go, ugh, and he'd bring out this whole chunk, and he'd write, you'd have to call the president to see if you had any money. And
it's all true, kids. You had to call the president, yeah. It was ridiculous.
Yes.
Do you feel that we now, in the 21st century, we take technology for granted?
Well, yeah, because now we live in an amazing, amazing world, and it's wasted on the crappiest generation of just spoiled idiots that don't care, because this is what people are like now. They got their phone, and they're like, ugh, it won't. Give it a second. It's going to space. Can you give it a second to get back from space? Is the speed of light too slow for you? I was on an airplane, and there was internet, high-speed internet on the airplane. That's the newest thing that I know exists. And I'm sitting on the plane, and they go, open up your laptop, you can go on the internet. And it's fast, and I'm watching YouTube clips. I'm in an airplane. And then it breaks down. And they apologize, the internet's not working. The guy next to me goes, this is bull. Like, how quickly the world owes him something he knew existed only 10 seconds ago.
Right.
So this is what it is, Today's consumer is hyper-informative, takes decisions at a speed of light, and if you commit him something and doesn't deliver, he says you are not going to work for me. And that is there everywhere. He communicates on his Facebook page, on his Twitter, and that's what we are dealing with. How many of you have heard this song, Char Bottle Vodka? I'm sure everybody, right? There's a lot of them who would say, I didn't like the song. There are a lot of them who would say, I love the song. But the point is, it was different. And it became one of the biggest rages in recent times. Did not have any lyric content on it, only a good voice, that's all. However, so what's critical to look at is that instead of just being good, you need to be different as well. That's how you communicate today's generation Y. And I was listening to today's morning session, and somebody said that 35% of the Indians are Generation Y. And there is another 30% which is Generation X, who's on a mobile phone. And then there is my mother, who says that never used a laptop in her life, but she uses my iPad. It's like a digital slate for her. Because she can touch. She said, can I actually be on Facebook? She opened her Facebook account. So what's happening? It's not per kilo. It was like initially we used to teach our kids. Today, kids are teaching their parents. And they are becoming the most critical decision makers at home. So if my mother wants to go somewhere, she'll ask me, how's this area? Can you just go online, Google it, and tell me how this place is, how this restaurant is? I want to go for a kitty party with my friends. Please tell me how good that is. And that is what is happening. Are we ready for that? Is what is changing. So what's happening in store, I go in a store today. The first thing I will go and do is check online whether the prices are right or wrong, whether the information given is right or wrong. So next is the information. I could just scan a barcode and say, wow, every information regards to that product is available to me. So I'll give you an example. Last year I bought a mobile phone. I went to an electronic shop, saw the mobile which I liked. Then I went online, checked the price, and bought it online because it was cheaper. This year I wanted to buy a laptop. I didn't even bother to go to an electronic shop. I know it's going to be cheaper. In fact, it's more convenient because I can compare between 10 products. Physically, I'm not going to compare with 10 products. It's not going to know, okay, what is the hardware? How many GB RAM each of these laptops have? No, plus I have the reviews online. So it gives me the convenience, it gives me more information to take decisions. And information at the speed of light. It takes me 2 minutes to actually decide which product is good and which one is not. That's at the speed at which information is moving. What's happening online today is there are people who will sit along, they'll say this is the decision, they'll see a product, they'll decide between the 4 of them, 5 of them, and buy. So let me give you some stats. 83% of the consumers, while in store, do their research on the phone. In fact, the new big thing is self-help is becoming the new norm. The other day, my wife went to one of the salons and she was getting a hair treatment done. She didn't go and ask somebody that, how are these products? She just saw the product name, Googled it, and said, okay, this product doesn't have any problems, so I can use it. No botheration to ask anybody. In fact, what happens in store these days is that the consumer is more knowledgeable because he's got a mobile phone in his hand. He can Google, he'll find information. So we cannot tell him something which we do not know. We cannot lie to him because the information is available right at the doorstep. In fact, we need another reason. So where is decision making happening today? Decision making happening is online. You go and purchase something maybe offline, but really, where are you taking the decision? I mean, if today you go and buy a mobile phone or even a shirt, you're not going and looking at 10 different products. You have looked at all the products and you are just going there offline to just go the order taking, which means I know I need to buy this phone or this shirt and I go pick it up. That's it. So that's what is changing. And I actually can look at who's giving what deals, what discounts, and that's what is happening. Are we ready for these customers, basically? Is the fundamental question which is being asked by every business. And my belief is that the service industry, especially on the wellness side, is getting up to it, is that getting ready for customers who are more informed, they are more empowered, and they are very, very demanding now. So if you tell them we are going to give you X, Y, Z, That's what needs to be delivered. So, how is technology changing things? So, the one was the pre-purchase stage. Today, you don't do research by one channel. You do research across. And you don't know where somebody is going to do the research. It could be some Facebook blog somebody has put, some email somebody, a marketing email, a decision could happen on a marketing email, a decision could happen by somebody telling him online that this is a good one, or a customer service. So there is various channels. So we can't say like years that this is how a customer is going to come in. So you got to be ready for every area. And what is happening is that the entire influencing of decision making is happening online. We like it, we don't like it, but that's what is happening. Everybody is getting information online. So what's happening now in store? Then at in-store, which is the service encounter stage, typically, is the stage where people are, whatever they saw online, they're actually saying whether it is fact or not, and they are always going through that. So, there are things like, if I got value for money, I will tell my friends. That's what will be. So we created a scenario where what a lot of people are doing in store, Somebody will say, let me check what products that they are using does not hamper my hair or not. Somebody else will say, oh, exactly what I saw online. So if you keep a very beautiful picture online and offline the picture is not that great, it's going to have a negative impact. So somebody fixed an appointment, and if they were not going to get the service at that time, they're going to leave because they are impatient. So that's what it is. So idea is that, can we communicate to our prospective customers, to our customers, about exactly defining our service levels, at the same time expecting what returns they will get, at what value. So that's what the service encounter stage is all about. And then the next stage is how technology is changing the post-encounter stage. Post-encounter is after the service is rendered. You are out there. I mean, people will tweet, will do Facebook. Today, 88% of the next buying behavior is discussed online. So this is the new fragmented customer. I don't need to say more. If you look at the cycle, and I think a lot of it is moved out of the screen, but 80% of it is online. Awareness happens online. Evaluation happens online. Purchase happens online. Usage, of course, is offline in services. Repurchase again happens online. Advocacy, which means I tell 10 more people, is again online. It's either emails or reviews or community, some or the other thing. So that's what is happening on the entire function there. So this is what Bill Gates said, If your business is not on the internet, then your business will be out of business. He said this 15 years back. And today is the reality, is that let's look at the large product e-commerce companies. They are really, so I have friends who are into, there are two kinds of friends one of them who are selling mobile phones online through these large channels like Snapdeals and Flipkart, and the ones who are selling offline. Today, what's happening with the guys who are selling offline are nearly out of business. And that's the gross reality. Otherwise, the guys who are selling online to a Snapdeal or somebody are doing 3 times the more business year on year. That's the kind of growth they are showing. So business models need to change. We need to become more aggressive on communicating with these young chaps. So that's where we started off BookMeIn. We thought that if you look at the entire evaluation stage, the entire stage of awareness to evaluation to usage to taking a decision or reusage, can there be one marketplace where a service provider could set up their showroom? I call that a virtual showroom, where every information about what they are doing is available. Somebody could go, buy something, buy an appointment with the with say a salon, get information, give feedback to that, and service provider getting the space of replying to that feedback and improving. So the idea was to create BookMeIn as a single platform only to handle the entire new age of customers online. So can I put in videos? Can I put some photographs? Can I put some more information like what my customers are talking about the services? What are we doing different? What are the best services that we are offering? What is the value that we are giving to these consumers? What are the kind of products that we are using in store? Now, if we give this information, that's how we will differentiate. And that's how we acquire customers. On the other side, today's generation is such that you have a company like Apple, which does $19 billion of profits quarterly. Now, why does this happen? Because they created a brand loyalty to such an extent that people could fight over a brand. That no, iPhone is the best phone available in the market, and they would fight with anybody for that. So they are creating so many brand evangelists, brand ambassadors who are actually taking the product to the next level. So the point is that the brand is no more restricted to the businessman himself. The brand is a function of how your customers are going to reproduce the brand to others. And people love to share. And if you were to really look at the services industry, it is all about experience. Somebody goes to a salon to make sure that the experience is great. He wants to create a selfie, post it online, but if it is good, then only he would do it. So at the end of the day, we need to be ready for these customers. So we thought BookMeIn was where we could get all the customers to really come buy a service in simple 3 steps. So this is what is there. Consider these trends in India. The online retail market is growing at about 50% year on year. The other stat is very, very important. MSME, which is micro and small and medium enterprises, which are medium enterprises, are 300 lakh. Now, if they are going to be online, it's going to be a large market. So that's the kind of trends which are there in India when it comes to online. India is already surpassed USA to become the second largest internet user in the world, which means everybody is on the internet. Today, what is happening is the mobile phone is costing 5,000 rupees. A smartphone costs 5,000 rupees. In fact, somebody was asking me outside, are there Symbian phones available? So I said, I don't know, I need to check, because really it's difficult to find a phone which is not smartphone. So that's what is happening on the trends bit. So on the other side, how much time does it take to find a reliable service provider today? In normal space, I'll need to knock 5 doors, 10 doors, look at how they are doing, open the door and say, okay, they are fine or not fine, and then take a decision today. But can I actually build to their needs? That can I give them information? Can I give them whether a service provider is available at the time that he wants to do it? Because everybody is busy today. I have an evening party to attend, and I need to get a manicure done at my lunch break. So I need to look at is anybody available at 1 o'clock. The only way to do it today is call 4 or 5 people up. One of them might be available, might not be available, and if I go there and if there is waiting for 10 minutes, I've lost my bus. So I come back at 2 o'clock at office, and my boss is shouting at me. So can I change that? What is the price? Whether there is value for money. Is that information available? So what we did with BookMeIn was we tried to take 2 areas. We tried to take the trends, and we tried to take the sentiments of the market and build one. And that's how BookMeIn was. Their idea is to serve the service providers so that they could do their business better. So I have a small video on what we are doing. It is India's first services supermarket, whereby anybody could book, buy, any service that you would want. So that's what we are doing. And of course, the last bit, that it makes a lot of sense for service providers also to be there, because it makes great business sense. Present there, get more visibility, give consumer the choice to look at what they are doing, everything. So I'm done, and thank you very much.